Hello everyone, welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So last time we were walking to school with Sayori, and Sayori told us that we should look for a club to join. And right after we arrived at school and after class ended, we were looking at some clubs while we were spazzing out until Sayori came in, find us spazzing out, and she told us that if she wonders if we could join her club. But first we refused, but she told us that Natsuki has made cupcakes, that we can just come over and take a cupcake. And once we came over to the literature club, it turns out that club is full of girls named Yuri, Monica and Natsuki. And let me skip to the part where we mentioned to Monica and the others that we were not planning to join this club until they all feel down. Until then we changed our mind and decided to join this club. So that's all I'm going to say, guys, so enough talk, let's get started. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Lee, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone, I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thoughts. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah, my relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've nearly really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Alright, so we can pick one of them to share our poem with. Let's go for Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. What kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them, building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, this one's kind of short. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstand test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green of the future. I bath calm breathing ain't of the present but thing in the past. The light flickens, I flick back. Okay, that's actually a nice poem. Not bad. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. That is true, like reading a script is kinda hard. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. I'm really glad you like it. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really, I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolic compared to a ghost lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Lee. Me too. We are actually getting better at this. Okay, so who should we pick next? I'm thinking Sayori. You know, I'll pick her. This is a good poem, Lee. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course, it's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right, but that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you really are part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. It's like I said before, Lee, deep down you're not selfish at all, you know, trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Let's take a look. This one's a bit long. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast! You sure do want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. don't be mean. I still tried my best. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came quite nice, should I put it. It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially the last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monaga's the best, but next time I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Are we seriously going to be doing poems throughout Doki Doki Literature Club Plus? Anyway, so the two more people left, Monaga or Natsuki. I'm thinking Natsuki. Lee, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. Well, what? What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Okay, that face you're making, Natsuki, it means that you don't want me to see your poem. But come on, it can't be that bad. Painful to think about it. Fine, well, sorry, you'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, I take that back when I said it can't be that bad. Perhaps I'm wrong. This poem is kinda short. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. That has to be the shortest poem I have ever read. Natsuki, you did your best there, but you have to put more effort of making your poems better. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read but hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand, but the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rim at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Is that a My Hero Academia reference? I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling pride, then I won't take that away from her. Alright everybody, the last person is Monaga, so we're going to pick her right away. Hi Lee, having a good time so far? Yeah, good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Lee. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know, but it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I had Monaga my poem. Great job, Lee. I was going in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimate you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuance. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. I'm pretty sure your poem is very good, Monica. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Well, this one's a bit longer. Hole in wall. It could have been me. See the direction. The spackle, prot roots, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. A real blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he's on the other side was looking in. That's actually an awesome poem I just read there. So what do you think? It's very freeform if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influenced my poems a bit. An empathy? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the advice, Monica. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, in Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks, yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it and Lee did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Lee liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our... Remember Yuri? Oh shit, it's about to go down. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Lee appreciates my advice than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Lee started showing up. Natsuki, Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly, both girls run towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Lee? She just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have it to figure out. Help me explain that to her, Lee. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Lee? To be honest, guys, I have no clue what can I say to the girls. I might either just tell them to calm down, like do not fight. Your poems are good and that's it. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Oh man, we have a choice here. Either have to look at them or get Sayori to help me. Alright guys, I'm going to pick Sayori. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're not asking her to help. You are telling them that Sayori is uncomfortable of fighting. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Lee, well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never, and they are at it again. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? Exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? But because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monaga stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monaga. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You can say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes the two of us. You can count on me. Monaga smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Oh, I think we're starting to have feelings to Monaga. Okay everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I did say it was worth it. It was alright, well mostly. Well, both of you were arguing after all. Lee, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Lee, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier, what do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen often? No, that's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, Lee, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. Oh, thank you very much. And I think everyone really likes you too. Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds. Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, let's do this. Alright, that was a very crazy day. We shared poems with Monaga, Yuri, Natsuki, and then Yuri, Natsuki started arguing, but lucky Sayori stepped in and told them that they need to stop fighting, that they are supposed to get along all together. Anyway, we're back here doing some poems again. So I'm going to continue on doing Yuri's poem. Graveyard. I'm gonna pick the tragedy one. Okay, that one is for Sayori. Let's find another horror poem. There has to be one somewhere. A question, lipstick, bubbles, blanket, desire. I think a melody. Okay, so the melody is for Natsuki. Depression. Does that count horror? I think so. You know, I'll pick depression. Wait, what? The depression is for Sayori. Anyway, let's continue on. Friends, silly, kitty, sunny, family, probably hurt. Wait, that one's for Sayori too. Oh, fear. That one's also for Sayori. Come on, there has to be one for this one. Yes, that's better. Fantasy, flower, inferno, hope, destiny, whirlwind. I think I'm gonna pick passion. Okay, we have another one for Sayori. Valentine, waterfall, music, chocolate, ribbon, mouse. I think mouse. That one is for Natsuki. Jumpy, Oh, maybe Jumpy. I'm gonna pick Wrath. Alright, we have another one for Sayori. Death. Alright, so Death for Sayori. That's a bit dark. How about this one? Yes, there we go. We have another one. Dark counts as horror. Another one for Sayori. Tears. I am going to pick the sound. Alright, we have another one. I'm going to pick Vitality. Yes, there we go. We have another one. Crimson. Yes, there we go. Horror. Yes, that's right. We got one. Frightening. Yes, let's go. Okay, we do got enough poems for Yuri. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, usual scene greets me. Hi Lee. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood, but I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't you take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Don't tell me, Sayori, you didn't brought any money with you. That face you're making, you're sweating as well. That means you forgot your money. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets it content spell onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Of course she did. She only got 2 coins in her purse and that's it. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. Okay, that pout face is cute. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry, and so that only leaves one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri's laughing right now. Looks like we made her laugh. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening. Her face is in her book as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Lee to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Did I just... I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right though. I did something bad and now I have to accept the revolution. Retribution still coming from me, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Is that so, Sayori? You told Natsuki to bake cupcakes to lure me into that club to join. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow! What was a cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in a plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? I knew who threw that. It's because I paid my restitution. Actually, that one almost worked. Yep, I knew it. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. I can't believe she threw that cookie at her. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Don't talk with your mouth full. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I give you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah jeez, I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? My foe, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not really. Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me. Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all? Seriously, you just jump into conclusions. Just because she's late, you think that she has a boyfriend? You're so strong-willed. But boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Ah, never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. Ah, I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better I will. That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Lee. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry, I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escape. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Why does she always go in that closet? Like, does she have something in there that she keeps in that closet? Man, it looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual, but it's not like that at all, you know. We just need a way of showing that to everyone, something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know. And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously? It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? Well, what kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes? Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. but therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Oh hi! I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry, wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monaga overheard. It's true though. I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look. Your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either, and there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I tried to wipe off the stain with my finger, but nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie, and you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Oh, we're in a different angle now. We're now buttoning up Sayori's blazer. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever button it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now. So, why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy, it's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew! That's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. I didn't say anything embarrassing. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine, it's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so. So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. But I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay everyone, Monaga suddenly calls out, why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Lee, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, see him. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. Alright, before I end this here guys, there is something that I have to show you before I end this video here. I was about to show this at the start, but I kinda forgot. So once I loaded into the game, ready to do part 2 on Doki Doki Literature Club, the game loaded me into this desktop menu, and this is very new. This was not in the original version. This is completely new for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So I'm going to check out a lot of things here. So here we have side stories. What is this supposed to be? The side stories are stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. To get all 6 side stories, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes in DDLC. Oh, I see. So if I do the right poems, I unlock these side stories. I'll click one of these later. I'm going to check out the others. Okay, the next one is files. I'm guessing these are just actual game files for the game. I'll get out of this one. Next up is mail. Well, nothing in email. Get out of that. Now the next up is pictures. I'm guessing these are just like pictures of gallery. Oh, that's actually cool. So you can unlock like pictures of gallery. Oh, that's so cool. There are a lot of things that I have not unlocked yet. And also, there could be like new images. Oh, what's this? Oh, this must be like a Halloween one. Natsuki sure is enjoying eating all the sweets. Yeah, so there is a lot of art that I have not unlocked yet. There are some new ones that are probably in this game. Just remember, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus is a newer version of the original, so that means that there's probably a lot of new things compared to the original. Maybe if you click on these pictures, I think you can change the background of the desktop menu to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I think that's why you unlocked these gallery pictures. Anyway, to music. I'm guessing this is where we play like music that we hear throughout the game. Yeah, so this is the main menu theme playing. So basically you can unlock music backgrounds that you play throughout the game. So I have only unlocked 9 music of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Okay, let's get out of that and go to settings. I don't think there's nothing special. Yeah, just a bunch of things where you can change the size of the game screen. Well, I guess that's all there is. And if you're wondering, how do you load into Doki Doki Literature Club? Well, easy. You just go to here and click on this, and then boom, you're loaded straight into the game. You know what's cool about Doki Doki Literature Club Plus is that it's also available on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox, but I'm pretty sure it is. Alright guys, so that is part 2 of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So I hope you enjoy this, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video. Lee Hip is out.